When Great Phoenix come out of Earth Mother, her skin gonna tear bad. Great storms come. They cover all towns. Summer and winter all mix up. Countries gonna be angry with each other. New countries gonna make nuclear bombs too. He cry in great wail for people's future.
Throughout history, there has been so many prophetic voices, individuals who are very gifted in predicting future events. Amongst them stands out Mary Summer Rain, a woman whose encounters with a Native American elder, No Eyes, has captivated spiritual seekers and prophecy researchers alike. Today, we are going to explore the remarkable prophecies of No Eyes, written by Mary Summer Rain in her book Phoenix Rising and the Earth Chronicles. We are going to review some of the astounding predictions that have already come into fruition since this book has been written, along with predictions that we still sit in the shadows awaiting to happen. Could they actually be on our doorsteps right now? I have no doubt they are. This is the Prophecies of Mary Summer Rain and the Native American elder, No Eyes. Mary Summer Rain emerged in the late 20th century, the mid-1980s to be exact, as a writer and as a mystic, sharing her knowledge of spirituality, earth changes, and Native American wisdom. She chronicled her encounters with No Eyes, a blind Native American shaman who shared prophetic visions about humanity, the environment, and spiritual evolution of the world. Her works, particularly this book here, Phoenix Rising, became very well known in the spiritual community, blending together prophecy with this deep philosophical insight. Here is a clip of Mary Summer Rain telling her story in this documentary on prophecy from 1994. Check it out.
Through a mystical vision, Mary believes she was chosen, not as a prophet, but rather as a messenger of prophetic warnings. And she was given a name, Summer Rain, by her mentor and guide, an 80-year-old Chippewa woman. This was the woman known as No Eyes.
No Eyes learned to see into the future and to forecast what was going to happen. No Eyes was the greatest visionary of our time.
As a young woman, Mary was living with her husband in suburban Michigan when she had a prophetic dream that signaled her future.
I had a dream that No Eyes appeared at the end of my bed, and she had a message for me.
You not who you think you are. You Summer Rain. Soon you move west.
When I woke up, I didn't know if it was really a dream or if she had really said that. I talked it over with my husband, Bill. We had no idea what Summer Rain meant, but we did have plans to move west. In 1977, we did move to Colorado.
While in Colorado, Mary pursued her lifelong ambition of becoming a novelist. But after hundreds of letters of rejection, she began to give up hope.
When I got my last rejection back, I was very depressed. So I took our pickup and started driving out into the woods. I didn't know where I was going. And when I found a spot that I really liked, I stopped and got out. I walked over to a log and I cried my eyes out. Suddenly I had the chills go up my back, and I looked up and there was an old woman standing in the pines.
Summer Rain, you come.
My God, it's you.
You can't imagine how spooky that was for me. She led me up to her cabin, and from then on, she became my mentor and friend for 2 years.
Some are gonna hear about signs and sounds.
She taught me all the old ways. She taught me true spirituality. Eventually, it got into more complicated lessons of how to do visions, how to see into the future. Noise had many ways of receiving visions. She would toss 7 natural ingredients one by one into fire. When she was done, images would appear in the rising smoke.
No eyes saw the future in the form of a great phoenix, a bird that would rise from Mother Earth amidst terrible devastation.
When great phoenix come out of Earth Mother, her skin gonna tear bad.
You mean earthquakes?
Great storms come. They cover all towns. Summer and winter all mix up.
Floods, earthquakes, Mother Earth rising in revolt. But the great phoenix also warned No Eyes of upheaval caused by man.
He gonna hear bodies hit the ground and hear people's moan in great sickness.
Why?
Countries gonna be angry with each other. New countries gonna make nuclear bombs too.
Noise, what is the Phoenix doing now?
He cry in great wail for people's future.
Mary Summer Rain believes that when No Eyes died, she left her with a very important mission.
Noise made me promise to write of our times together so that her wisdom and her message would not end with her.
Mary Summer Rain, through the teachings of No Eyes, foretells of a series of cataclysmic natural disasters to befall the earth. Others share the same vision.
Through a mystical vision, Mary believed that she was chosen, not as a prophet, but rather as a messenger of prophetic warnings. And she was given a name, Summer Rain, by her mentor and guide, an 80-year-old Chippewa woman. This is the woman known as No Eyes. As a very young woman, Mary was living with her husband in suburban Michigan when she had this prophetic dream that signaled her future. While in Colorado, Mary pursued her lifelong ambition as a novelist. But after hundreds of letters of rejection, she began to completely give up hope. No Eyes saw a future in the form of a great phoenix, a bird that would rise up from Mother Earth amidst terrible devastation. Floods, earthquakes, Mother Earth rising in revoke. But the great phoenix also warned of the upheaval caused by man. Mary Summer Rain believed that when No Eyes passed away, she left her with a very important message. Mary Summer Rain, through the teachings of No Eyes, foretells a series of cataclysmic natural disasters that will befall the planet Earth. But is there anything from the No Eyes prophecies that actually came into fruition since this was first published in 1987? You're going to be shocked to see what actually did already come into fruition. Prophecies that have come true. Several of the No Eyes predictions as recorded by Mary Summer Rain, especially in this here book, Phoenix Rising, have eerily come to pass already. So let's take a look at some of the most significant prophecies that have already come to pass in accordance to Phoenix Rising in the Earth Chronicles. Number 1, climate change and earth shifts. No Eyes spoke of a time when the earth would undergo great upheavals. She warned of increasing natural disasters, intensifying storms, severe droughts, and even widespread wildfires. Today, we see these prophecies manifesting right before our eyes, with record-breaking climate changes, unpredictable weather patterns, and a growing global crisis. Number 2, societal upheaval and division. Another striking prophecy was the rise of deep societal divisions, political unrest, and the breakdown of old systems. No Eyes predicted people would become disillusioned with leadership and seek alternative spiritual and communal paths. The past few decades, we have witnessed increasing polarization, mass protests, and the shifts in traditional power structures. Number 3, the rise of spiritual awakening. Despite the chaos, No Eyes also foresaw a surge in spiritual awakening. Again, a surge that we see huge happening right now. Many would turn away from materialism, seeking deeper truths, honoring ancient wisdom, and reconnecting with nature. This shift is evident in the rise of alternative healing practices, mindfulness, and the growing interest in indigenous spiritual traditions. Number 4, economic turmoil and the fall of monetary systems. No Eyes predicted that economies would become unstable with traditional monetary systems failing under the pressure of greed and corruption. The rise of cryptocurrencies, the collapse of financial institutions, and increasing global debt crisis hint to the fulfillment of this prophecy unfolding right now before our eyes. Predictions yet to come. While some of No Eyes' predictions have already unfolded, as you just seen, there are so many others in this book that have also unfolded. Yet, there are still so many others that still lie in the near future. Could these events be on our doorstep right now? I believe you'll agree with me that they absolutely are on our doorsteps right now. Here are some of the prophecies that we are still awaiting to see come into fruition in accordance to Mary's summer reign in the visions of No Eyes. The Phoenix Rising, a great transformation. According to No Eyes, the world would go through a period of great destruction, but from its ashes, a new, much more spiritually awakened civilization would rise from those ashes. This rebirth would not come without, of course, lots of hardships, but it would bring about a higher consciousness amongst humanity, ascending us, likely, to the new Earth nation. Number 2, a major celestial event. Another very intriguing prophecy speaks about this celestial event that's going to occur. Perhaps unknown planetary forces, or a significant solar shift, or an astrological alignment that will all act as a catalyst for great change. We see many of these alignments happening already, since 2012, especially when we had that very rare alignment on December 21st, 2012. Some believe that this could actually point to an actual pole shift, a new cosmic energy entering the Earth's field, or an interstellar discovery that changes humans' understanding forever, or perhaps all of the above. Number 3, the collapse and rebuilding of society. No Eyes predicted that existing societal structures would fall completely, making way for a new system rooted in cooperation, sustainability, and spiritual integrity. The path to this future remains uncertain, but many people believe that we are witnessing these early stages unfold in front of us right now, as we see more people turning to sustainable living, off-grid communities, and alternative ways of governance. Number 4, the emergence of healers and prophets. Another prophecy speaks of a new wave of spiritual healers and prophets emerging in the wake of these transformations. They will bring ancient wisdom to light, guide humanity through the transition, and act as beacons of hope in uncertain times. Number 5, the Great Spiritual Reckoning. No Eyes predicted a final great reckoning that would occur, a time where every soul would be confronted with its choices, forced to align with either higher consciousness or to fall into deeper chaos. This event is described as the ultimate test for humanity's spiritual evolution. The prophetic legacy of Mary Summer Reign. Mary Summer Reign's prophecies have intrigued and inspired people across the globe for decades. Whether you see them as being dire warnings or whether you see them as guiding wisdom, they literally do challenge us to really reflect on our world and our role in this world in the future. What do you think? I want to know what you think. Are we on the precipice of transformation like never before, as No Eyes foresaw? Again, share your insights below and your thoughts below in the comments. And don't forget to smash that thumbs up love button so that we can get this information out to more people. This is my copy of the book Phoenix Rising, my second copy, because my first copy fell apart. I had that first copy in the early 90s when I was probably about 20 years old. This first edition of the book came out and was printed, copywritten in 1987, when I was just a young whippersnapper senior in high school. And I remember reading this book not long after high school, probably around 1991. When I read this book, I remember sitting around with friends and reading the very back of the book where she has the Earth Chronicles. And in the Earth Chronicles, she lists all these potential events that are going to come in the future, along with everything else she talks about and discusses in this amazing book that I highly recommend. I believe it may be out of print, but you can still get a copy of it somewhere. It was actually published by Hampton Roads Publishing Company. And I got this book, I think, probably on, one of them websites. So I remember when I moved to Arizona 6 years ago, I found a copy of this book, and I remember going down and reading the list and being shocked by all the things that have come to pass. Because again, I remember reading this decades ago, 30 years ago, and saying, yeah, that's possible. Yeah, sure, that's possible, but none of it had happened. But since, much of it has happened. She has it categorized in a couple categories in the Phoenix Chronicles. First, she has contradictions, economic aspects. Then she has emerging natural disasters. So let's start at the beginning. Massive blue-collar strikes, relocation of key factories overseas. Now, don't we not see in the United States all our factories went overseas since then? Since the 80s? Definitely did. Computerization of factories. Now, remember, factories weren't computerized very much back in 1985 when she was probably writing the book. 1987 was when it was published. She may have even written these notes and all of this in the early 80s before it actually finally got picked up and published. Widespread factory shutdowns. I know that just from being in Philadelphia and walking around seeing all the empty factories and all the empty buildings. Excessive taxation. Well, that's an understatement. Stock market misdealings and declines. We saw Martha Stewart go to jail with misdealings. We really wish Pelosi would join her. Drastic construction declines. Devaluation of real estate. Increased corporate crime. A drop in level of manufacturer goods. An increase of corporate monopolies and takeovers. An increase in personal bankruptcies. That was a big thing about, in the 90s, all the bankruptcies. And actually, no, when we had the housing crash market, actually, in the early 2000s. Widespread layoffs. We've seen that, but friends, we're about to see a whole bunch more of that with AI going into place. Runaway credit purchases. Well, people have been doing that for a long time, too, because they just can't pay it anymore because the interest rates are ridiculous. Cash as the only accepted tender. Boy, we can only hope and wish for that one, friends. Cash is the only accepted tender. Now, then I always tell you to always have cash on hand, whether it's just like $50 or whatever, in case you need it, to go grab something if the power goes out. Then she goes on to emerging natural disasters, major devastation in California, inactive craters becoming unsettled, the return of the Dust Bowl, mountains become unstable, record-breaking flooding, tornadoes increase intensity and occasion, liquefaction of soil beneath faults. That's interesting. Intensified hurricane devastation. Freak wind gusts and accidents. Well, we've been seeing that too. Freak wind gusts and stuff. We've seen that out on the sea especially. Soil erosion, increased radon levels, and mud and rock slides. Insect infestation. Yeah, we see that happening. Sinkholes, rapid temperature inversions, frigid winters, deadly blizzards. Summer storms with intensified hail and lightning, seeping natural gas, causing fires and explosions. That could be definitely a big cause of wildfires now and in the future, even though there's technology behind that too. Wink, wink. Widespread surface blazes. Widespread surface blazes. We've been seeing a whole heck of a lot of that in the past few years. A major earthquake of the New Madrid Fault. Oh, how about that? Southern Illinois and northern Arkansas. That's probably what I was picking up in my other prediction video earlier, which may jeopardize the entire Mississippi River Valley area. A greenish hue to the atmosphere. That will be referred to as the Phoenix days. Higher pollution levels. Eye-searching transportation accidents. Plane crashes increase. Shipping disasters increase. Higher accidents of train derailments and accidents. We've definitely been seeing that in the past few years. How about that? Amusement park disasters. Increase in homicide, suicide. Freak household incidents and accidents. Disease outbreaks. Several catastrophic propane explosions. And germ warfare release accident. 2020. Did we not see that? We'll see another one too, says the spirits. Then we have grave economical differences, arms escalation, conflict accelerations, terrorism increases, undeclared wars. Remember, we didn't have remember the war on terror? That happened in the 90s. Again, this book was written in the 80s. Pretty impressive. High-level secrecy. Well, yeah, that secrecy's coming out now. The truth is being revealed. Wings flexing, spiritual unrest and awakening. Questioning the masses. That's good. We need to question. We need to question everything. Political church actions. Government interventions. Repression from certain religious sects. Increased UFO sightings. Interaction with other intelligences. Acceptance of the paranormal. Acceptance of ongoing spirit in the afterlife and life after death. We already see that, friends. We already see people accepting and the acceptance of the paranormal. Paranormal has become so big since 2000, actually, and even more so since 2012, since that whole alignment in the Aztec calendar. More religious sects are going to court to force their personal restrictions on the general public. That's interesting. More religious sects are going to go to court to force their personal restrictions on the public. Didn't we see some of that in 2020? And then we have the incidents. Several close meltdowns and leaks. We saw that at Fukushima. Seeping radioactive dump sites. 2 catastrophic meltdowns. We've seen 2 catastrophic meltdowns, right? But wait, when was the one in Chernobyl? Was in the 80s. So I don't know if that was when she was writing this book. Then we've seen Fukushima. Radioactive release caused by geological instability. And then we have civil unrest. Draft evasion. I told you they were going to bring back the draft in many countries. Public's discovery of cover-ups. We see that happening. We've been seeing that. Nuclear exchange. We have not, but unfortunately we will. People's revolt and resistant movements. Taxation refusals. War resistance. Policy disagreements with government body, major upheaval with governments. And this is the outcome. This is the age of peace, friends. This is the outcome of where we lead. And that is total equality amongst the people. Discontinuance of all meat ingestion. I remember Spirit told me that a long time ago. I'm sure I've told you on my Tuesday show many times. And Spirit said in the future, we are all basically vegetarian. Isn't that interesting? I don't want to be. I like my meat. Construction reforms. Cessation of most severe natural disasters, meaning they're all calming down. That's good. Pollution-free energy innovations by the way of the Earth's magnetic field. That's free energy, friends. I told you free energy is coming. It's already here, but it's coming where we're actually going to be able to use it, and they're not going to take people out for bringing it to the light. And a rise of the Indian nation through widespread adaptation of its ways of natural living and deep human philosophy. The Hopi, the Lakota, and all the other native people. Again, I highly recommend this book, friends. Phoenix Rising. She also wrote another book called Earthway. I really like that book, too. I need to get me a new copy because I gave my copy to somebody. Doctor to use, actually, because in Earthway, she talks about the different vitamins and different herbs and things. And what, say, for example, vitamin D. If you have too much in your system, she lists the side effects of having too much and then the side effects of not having enough. It's a really good book. Check it out. And I very much hope that you enjoyed the content today on Mary Summer Rain's Phoenix Rising, the Earth Chronicles, and the prophecies of the Native American elder, the Chippewa elder, No Eyes. And if you did, again, please take a moment and hit that thumbs up love button. And a big thank you to all the supporters, the members of this community, the Subscribe Star Awaken Your Spirit community. and all those who contribute to this channel and allow me the time to put all this great content together for you. I thank you with infinite love and gratitude. Couldn't do it without you, baby. And I, again, am so grateful. Until the next time, friends, remember, be bold, be true, be kind, be you. Let your light shine and never be scared. Just always be prepared. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you in the future. Much love.